Hey guys, it's Justin again with another unboxing video. This is an unboxing video brought to you by the Animetropolis, which is my sponsor. This is the 1:144 scale MS-06R Zaku 2 High Mobility Type Psycho Zaku from Gundam Thunderbolt. This is a really interesting kit. I always kind of thought about picking this one up. I did once upon a time have the orange like worker Zaku or whatever it was. I like that one a little bit better than this one. But this one has grown on me quite a bit, and it is a really nice looking kit. I believe it uses the high mobility, or the like the Johnny Ridden type Zaku is more of a base, just with a trillion times more thrusters and weapons. So on the top of the box we got a really cool shot of it flying through space and debris. It's throwing some guns. There's a lot of chaos going on back here. I'm not really sure. I haven't watched Thunderbolt yet. I need to do that. On the bottom of the box, we have front and rear shots of the kit, as well as a kind of, I don't want to say Photoshop, but like a mocked up promo image of it standing in front of an explosion, some other stuff. And then some Gundam Thunderbolt promo screens for the anime. I don't know if this is the anime color version or if this is the older one. But anyway, on the bottom or the top of the box we have a shot of the kit and everything that includes. You get 3 bazookas, 2 fuel tanks, a different type of bazooka. This is the like the Dom style bazooka. You get looks like some chain mines. You get some rocket pods. You get 3 Sturmfaust, I think is what they're called. They're like German grenade things, some mechanical arms, a heat hawk, and some little connector bits here. Like I said, there's like a trillion thrusters on this kit. A lot of them, almost all of them, are painted or well molded in gold. And then here's an exploded view of the kit. Everything standing up. You even get a little base with this kit. This kit retails for 2,700 yen, which is actually really cheap considering the amount of gear you get with this guy, and the fact that it comes with a stand. It's not a really like a posable stand, but you get a stand. So I haven't opened this box yet. I've popped the top off and looked at the top runner, and that's the extent of it. So we're going to go ahead and look through it, and we're going to break down all the runners, see what's included, and then we'll wrap this up. So right off the top you get a ton of weapons. This is the Dom style bazooka. These are some of the regular bazookas. These are the little grenades. Here's some of your joints, a large sheet of stickers. On the other side, apparently there's 2 of those bazookas in here. That's awesome. So I think you only use 1 for the kit. No, you use 2. I guess. I don't know. Whatever. Once I figure out what you use and what you need, there might be some extra bits in here because they want to save plastic. Next we've got a G runner. That is gold thrusters. That is, every single one of these pieces is a thruster except for like these little bits right down here. And those are the parts for the rocket launchers and the missile pods. But all these thrusters, these are spikes, and all the rest of this is missiles. On the other side we get the base, this massive backpack, 2 mechanical arms, and the bottom of the base. I think I said that already. Next we've got 2 giant halves of that fuel tank. I believe this is another part of a fuel tank over here. There's the chest. There's a ton of hands in here. These look like the feet maybe. Wrist or arm collar. Foot, hand guards. Tops of the foot. Sheet of polycaps. And then more joints and stuff like that for the inside. And then we finally get to see some red. So here on the red runners we get the side skirts, the back skirts, the front skirts, the head, the shoulder, the shield, the arm, forearm. This looks like one of the missile pods, but I could be wrong about that. That's the crotch piece and the front of the face. On the other side we get the legs, bottoms of the feet. These look like the bottoms of the legs. Maybe side skirts or little vent flaps or something like that. These are tops of the legs, and these are the fronts of the legs. Kneecaps. So this is actually really nicely color separated in quite a few spots. Orange. We have, I think these are the biceps, this is the command horn, this is the waist, and this is the cockpit. All of the piping on the kit, so I think this is the chest, these are the knees, and this is the head. And then the last bag of runners, we have more bazookas, some Zaku machine guns. I believe this might be some frame for the chest, just some detail and stuff. And then the other fuel thing. And then a large sheet of actual like decals. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. And then finally in the bottom of the box we have the instructions manual, which we'll go through real quick. So on the front we've got a shot of the kit, completed and standing, painted and detailed and ready for action. On the back here we've got just some detail shots and the decal guide, all the weapons, things like that. Again, it's pretty standard. You open this guy up, it's also pretty standard. It's just very thick, I guess due to the amount of weapons and stuff in the kit. So this shows kind of just a way you can pose the kit, and it shows it's on the stand, fully loaded, all the weapons and stuff plugged in, as well as some information on the suit from Gundam Thunderbolt. On the inside, as usual, we have the double colored page. This shows just kind of how to plug all the weapons and stuff in. And then this even shows you, oh, those are ammo clips. This shows you, I guess, the arms folded up, maybe? I could be wrong about that, I'll have to look into it. But then, at the beginning of the instructions, we have the plate layout, and then it goes straight to construction. HGs usually start around the waist or the chest, and then they kind of work their way all over the place, and then you'll put the two halves together, and that's the end of it. This is not really much of an exception. You start at the chest, you work your way down to the waist, you assemble the waist, you assemble part of the backpack, you put the chest and waist together, you put the backpack on, then you put the head together, arms together, and it's looking like legs. After the legs, you will assemble the fuel rod or the fuel pods, and then it becomes Weapon City from there. So I think that's all sorts of backwards, but whatever. So we're gonna go ahead and tear these bags open. We're gonna have a look at each runner and see what's on them in a little bit more detail, without having to worry about all the stuff behind it and all that. So I'll be right back. Alright, so the first runner is A1. This is, I kind of went over this real quickly, but this is molded in a kind of red. I don't know what you would call it. It's not really bright, but it's not really a dark red either. But it's a really nice red. I do like it. I might brighten it up a bit if I decide to go with the standard color scheme. So here we have the two forearms. I'm still not sure what this piece is. It's probably part of the backpack. These two pieces here are side skirts. This is the front skirt. This is like a dual layered part of the crotch piece. This is the front part to the mouth, the top of the head, and the bottom of the head. You can see where that kind of plugs into the mono eye. I think these are for right here. You kind of cap these off, I think. And then there's the shield and the two halves of the shoulder, which are going to be a pain. I just realized that that's two pieces. Oh boy. So that's A1. Next up we've got A2. A2 is again the same kind of red. Just kind of wraps off the rest of the red pieces. There's really not as much red on this kit as I thought there would be. It's all pretty much like blacks and grays. So here's the thigh armor for both legs. The inner and outer bits to the main leg unit. This is the front part, and I think this is the back part. This is like the little part that goes inside, and then there's like a space for the ankle joint to plug in. And then these are the bottom of the feet. Definitely needs a little bit of work. I don't know if I'm going to do that or not. Just because I hate working with putty in these kinds of areas, and I really don't like the plow plate method either. So we'll see what happens when I get to that bridge. And then I think these are possibly caps to like the elbow joints or the knee joints. You just kind of plug them into the side of the ankle, or not the ankle, the knee joint. Next, we've got B1 and B2. B2 is an exact copy of the right half of this runner minus the hands, so we don't need to look at that. Let's see, we've got 2 pieces to the top of the backpack and the bottom of the backpack here. This is where all the stuff plugs in. I think this is part of the chest, and then these are all the hands and the hand bits here. There's hand plates on this side. This is the front of the chest. Somebody's upset, sorry. This is the top of the chest. These, I believe, are the shoulders. I think these plug into the shoulders and the peg sticks through. We've got the forearms, top of the foot. I think this is for the knee, like underneath the knee. This is the top of the foot, again, back of the handguards, and then these are 2 massive halves of the propellant tanks. This is, I believe, the 2 ends of the propellant tanks, and I think this is one of the sides of the backpack. I might have that backwards. But pretty much, again, this little section over is duplicated, so that's what B2 is. So C is a relatively easy runner. This is super simple. These are bicep parts. These plug in under the shoulder, and then the elbow joint will stick through. There'll probably be a polycap in there that locks everything into place. This is the cockpit hatch. This is the command fin. Really strange seeing that in orange, but we'll see how it looks when I put it all together. I might have to make some minor changes depending on how I feel about this color scheme. And this is the like the waist under the chest. It's part of the chest, but it's not part of the hips, if that makes any sense. That's molded in orange, and it's a really nice orange, actually. I don't think I've ever seen this orange molded on a Gundam kit, so really neat. Next, we've got runner D. These are 2 ankle joints. This is the inner bit to the chest. This is the top of the chest where the neck comes through. I believe these are the inner frames for the foot. Like, this part will plug into the bottom of the foot, and then the ankle joint will stick up through the top. These are your kind of bag joints, if you will, for the knee. This is like the actual knee. This is like the lower, or no, I think this might be plug up into the hip. So this is like the inside piece, and this part goes outside around it. These are the hips. This is where the hips plug into. And these look like they might be shoulders or backpack pieces. I'm not really sure, but they have like a peg and a ball joint. I don't really see that too often. Like in this configuration. In this one where it like plugs into the side and then the ball joint comes down, I don't know how this is going to work, so we'll see. This is molded in the pretty standard, like a medium gray. Another thing that's going to be fun about this is seaming up these bag joint parts. I'm not looking forward to that, but hopefully I can get a decent seam on them. That'll make this a whole lot easier. Alright, so no E1 runner. Oh wait, there is an E1 runner. Okay, that's really strange that that's the way that is molded. I was looking for E1 when I was sorting through all the parts, and I found E2, but I didn't see that E1 was up here. So this is one of those breakaway runners where you can break it and it's 2 runners. I don't know why, because it's got the beam or the heat hawk molded right onto it, so whatever. This is one of the ammo packs for the bazooka. This is the main body of the bazooka. This is one of the handles, another handle. Top of the Zaku machine gun, back of the rocket launcher. These are the folded arms, the front of the beam rifle. This is one of those little dangly bits. It's like a detail. Another scope. This is the back of the gun. And that's all molded in gray, same kind of gray that all the joints and frame and stuff is molded in. So we've got F. F is molded in a kind of really dark brown. It's almost black. And it's literally just piping. So this is the head piping. This plugs into the back of the head. This plugs into the front. These are the leg piping. I imagine this will plug into the bottoms of the foot. Then you bend the knee and you plug this into the top of the thigh, and that'll lock that in. And then this will plug into the front of the crotch armor, and this will plug into the backpack, and that just provides piping effects for those. Now this one is going to be the hardest one to paint because it's got all these flex joints here, so painting it and then flexing it is going to be a little bit annoying, but we'll work around it. We've got G, which is molded in Bandai's famous really crappy looking gold. It's not plated or anything like that, and that's fine with me. I don't want to have to strip plating to paint this, and this is probably going to be the easiest runner to go over because all of this, all this, and these little bit, and these down here are all thrusters. These little bubble looking things are rockets. I believe these actually plug into this. Yeah, this. So you can see there's pegs here for this to plug in. So this is just one, when it's done, it's just one giant piece. It's all the rockets. Same goes for these. And then there's 3 spikes here for the shoulder. So I'm going to paint these a gold. These actually are pretty sharp for a Bandai kit. Normally these are really dull and kind of crappy, but these are actually pretty sharp. So I think with a little bit of sanding, maybe stick them on the Dremel tool and give them a couple spins, I'll have a nice, really nice point coming off of these. But again, all this is just thrusters. So I don't know how I'm going to paint these yet. I might do maybe like a red on the inside and then mask them off and do gold on the outside, but that could be quite time consuming, I'm sure, so maybe I won't do that. We'll see. I imagine I'm going to spend more time painting thrusters than any other part of this kit, just because of the sheer amount of thrusters on this thing, not to mention the ones that are on the actual kit molded into the shoulder. That's going to be really annoying to mask that off and paint. Next we've got H1. H1 is molded in black. This is the backpack, like the main unit of the backpack. Then here's the other side and the bottom. This is the main part of the waist, so all the armor and stuff is going to plug into this guy. Here's 2 mechanical arms that are unfolded this time. I'm not really sure what these 2 guys are, and these look like polycaps, but they're plastic, so you're not going to get that looseness later. This is the rocket launcher rack, and I'm not really sure what some of these are either. It's probably just bits that hold other stuff in. This holds the 2 propellant tanks, I know that much. This is the bottom of the action base, this is the main arm of the action base, and this is the peg for the kit itself. Not much to say here. There's only a couple parts that go on the actual kit, but H2 is a flat piece that I'm not really sure what it goes to. It's probably like a support piece or something that goes in, and obviously something's going to peg into here. H2, again, molded in black. This is folded up mechanical arms, and then I'm not really sure what this piece is. It's kind of a flat piece. There's one on the other plate too. I imagine this kind of like fills out the side of something, and then you can kind of plug something into there. But I'm not really sure. I have to look at the instructions to find out. We've got 2 eye runners, so we only have to go over one of these. This is the larger bazooka. These are the Sturmfausts. These are, I think, shoulder joints, maybe. More Sturmfausts. Regular rocket launchers, handles, tons of little ammo bags and handles and stuff like that. Excuse me. Scopes. This is one of the things that the rockets go into right here. Handle. That's the back of the weapon. I think this is like an elbow joint, or like an elbow cover, something like that. And the last thing to look at is the polycap sheet. This is polycap 001. So you get a lot of 1 polycaps, a couple little ball joint polycaps, some of these rounded ones for the ankles. These are the shoulders typically. This is usually what the wrists plug into. This is the neck. I want to say this might be the elbow joints. And then some of the other ones are just kind of scattered throughout. There's a lot of moving parts on this, so I imagine I'm going to use a lot of these guys. But the standard ones are pretty much going to be where you would normally see them. Nothing too fancy, I don't think, but we'll see when I put it together. So that has been my unboxing of the 1:144 scale Psycho Zaku from Gundam Thunderbolt. Again, I got this kit from the Animetropolis. If you haven't heard of them, I suggest you go check them out. He has fantastic prices. You know, you can get just about any kit at, you know, yen value. He doesn't really make as much money on this as some of the other stores that I've seen, where they'll kind of mark stuff up so they can make a bit of a profit. So you're going to get things at a really nice price. And now all US orders have free shipping. And if you use the coupon code SAVE10, you will save 10% on your order. I believe that still works. But, you know, free shipping either way, that's really nice. So you're not really going to be out too much of anything. So go over there and check those guys out. There's a really good stock of kits over there. There's also a ton of like anime figures if you're into that kind of thing. So go ahead and check it out. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon with the review.